Okay, so this is Jegantha Niv-Mizzet Reborn. This is a deck we played once before that felt pretty reasonable, and I'm interested in giving it a try here again. When you look at the spell base that we are playing in this deck, you will note that our deck is base 4 colors. We are primarily a white, black, green, and blue deck, with the only red card in our 75 actually being Niv-Mizzet Reborn. Our mana base is constructed in a way that reflects this. Red is the least represented color in our mana base because a lot of the time we're just not going to need it, because Jeg can even just filter through to make red for Niv. We are largely a Hero of the Precinct One deck as well. Everything other than Hero here is multicolored. We've got a lot of different key pieces of removal, from Assassin's Trophy to Oathakaya. Last time we played this deck, Dire Tactics was a card that was continually impressive here. So exile target creature. If you don't control a human, you lose life equal to that creature's toughness. So we've got Hero is a human that makes humans. We've got Bane of Monsters as a human. Both Elite Guardmage and Atris here are humans as well. So let's go ahead and hop on into some ladder matches with this one and see how it feels. Sounds good. How is just gonna mutate it? It's alright against aggressive decks. It feels like it leaves a bit to be desired against fires and other ramp decks. Has the problem of getting gone over the top of pretty hard. Also has some flashy elements to it, so not stellar in the face of Teferi. I think this deck's playing 28 lands if I recall, so hopefully we'll be able to get to 5-on-5 with 5-on-4 with this Uro on our next 2 draws to be lands. Why would they get rid of Prime Loot? Prime Loot in most applications is usually time gated. It's available for a limited amount. It's not just there forever. He's a good little dragon kitty. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I'm excited to keep a 3-lander and then miss our 4th land after drawing an extra card. Earl will get us a land. Here's hoping. You know, our next 2 draws to be lands here, ideally. This is where the magic happens, my chat. This is where the magic happens. Probably Wilderness Reclamation. The worst part about my single land tier is I can't even put it in my book because we're not playing 26 lands, we're playing 28. Pedro Paulo, thanks for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome to Hoaglandia. You're having a good one wherever you are. So, like, now I have to decide, do I play this and not be resource efficient this turn? I think the answer is yes, because it's pretty critical that I try and take an expansion explosion out of their hand before they have the opportunity to cast it. Well, we're going to take away some of their options, at least. Why Opt and not a Growth Spiral? Because I don't really care. Because Opt is almost strictly better than Growth Spiral in this instance. Like, Growth Spiral's not really getting them ahead on lands in a meaningful way, and Opt's going to see an extra card, and it costs less mana to do so. Oh, they forgot to do the thing in between. Alright, so we'll play Niv-Mizzet here, hopefully digging for an Assassin's Trophy. And we'll see if we can take these Reclamations off the table before they get to do their damage. Well, I mean, you gotta keep the COVID away, Myth. What do you want me to do? Catch the COVID? Of course I take my daily dose of Lysol. Glorious leader wouldn't steer me wrong. Teferi's also an excellent pickup here against Wilderness Reclamation. Have to hope to dodge Expansion Explosion this turn, and then could maybe be in an okay spot with the Thought Erasure to force through the Teferi. Gotta shoot between the toes for the best effect. Double top, so I assume we're dead. Probably dead so. They shocked in the land. Things not looking good for our hero. We're actually just dead, right? They have 21 men. This is actually lethal. If they have the Expansion Explosion, they actually get to 17 us here. And they top very quickly, so I assume we're dead. Excuse me? No, I'm not going to try and draw step Thought Erasure because I want Teferi to resolve. There's a good, they knew about Thought Erasure and Teferi. There's a good chance they could have topped a counterspell here. Do they not know how their deck works? They must not know how their deck works, right? Or they just misclicked? It's a misclick or they don't know how their deck works. Either way. Could have been either or. Could very well be a misclick. As someone who clicked through, yeah, maybe they forgot to set the end step stop. Could be, I don't know, they're ranked 600. I assume they just misclicked as opposed to not knowing. Like being mythic, much less like top 6, top, you know? Top whatever, usually. Very close to lethal here. The Jeskai Winota list is very good. I agree. It's very good. Yeah, like, by no means are they guaranteed to be, like, you know, super experienced, but probably know the mechanics of the interface. It could very well be their first time playing Team Erect. Yeah, they might have laddered with something else. Alright, you know what? We take those. We take those. Strokes in, Teferi's in, Despark's in, Trophy's in, Oath of Kaya out, Dire Tactics out, Chevill out, Elite Guardmage out. I need 3 cards to bring back in here. Bring in a couple of Ashioks, just Ashiok can take their thing off the table, leave in a cheeky Kaya, because sometimes they have Uro. Sounds good. Sounds good, I think. It's technically against the arena turns of service to share accounts. Three spots open in the melee tournament. By the way, had some people drop out. Easy mulligan. It was a very good Hearthstone hand, I agree. Keep bottom. Man, the mana base in this deck is just so superb with the addition of the Triomes. It's real good. think we just jam our threat here. Are Triome showing up in older formats at all? I have no idea. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really pay attention to Modern or Legacy these days. Or Pioneer anymore. Pioneer turned into a dumpster fire mighty quick that I mostly ignore now. Luris is $25 on Moto. Because the cards don't exist yet in paper, right? Although I suppose they could be pre-selling them. I'm gonna put a stop on their second main phase here, just so I have the option to kill this before they go to their end step. I believe the set was released in some Asian countries, but it is not yet available worldwide due to COVID. There's this pesky pandemic thing that's going around at the moment. Well, I mean, it'll be posted on my YouTube channel tonight. If you're interested in my end of deck review for that. As for right now, at this very moment, before I upload stuff to YouTube, you could dig through the current day's stream log and get to it that way as well. So mana being a little bit painful here, but in an okay spot. Have some interaction here, have a counterspell. That's a little unfortunate. I hit kind of an awkward milestone with my website over the last couple days. The tool I use to embed my YouTube videos on my website hit its API call limit. So apparently, like, for the last 6 hours, the last couple days, my YouTube videos just weren't showing up in the embeds on my website because it was out of API calls. So the plugin I was using, turns out, has the ability to cache certain things. It's per day, actually, they give you a limit. So I was hitting the daily limit. I hit the daily limit like the last 3 or 4 days. Since I've been watching it all day today, and it looks like setting up the caching probably did it. Now it only refreshes each API once per day, and so like it's well under the quota limit with the caching enabled. So that's good. More videos too, but like more page views as well. So like my website's just generating more traffic during times like this because there's more people interested in finding standard decks and stuff like that. Shark Typhoon is very, very good. I don't know. If there's any issues with the standard format, I would be willing to wager they're related to cards that were before companions, not the companions themselves. I would really like the Historic Ladder back too. Oh, Mystic Dispute. Nobody loves you, Mystic Dispute. Please go away. It's so weird to me that they decided Mana Leak was too powerful for Standard and then printed this card. This card is so much better than Mana Leak, it's kind of unreal. It's so much better than Mana Leak in a format like this where it's like everything is multicolored. You mean pillars of the format like Cleave and Teferi? Yeah, exactly. Pillars. Alright, they shocked in a land. Am I dead? I assume we're gonna die to an explosion here. I think it was right to jam the Ashiok. Just like I'm dying to the shark if I don't. Well, I mean, like, it was right last turn, right? So here we go. Alright, what's your last card? They just have like another Shark Tornado? They just like... Okay, so that's like the second time now? I don't get it. I don't get it. You know, whatever. We should have lost this match 2-0. We should have lost this match 2-0, which is again why, like, when you ask what the record is and like what the actual record, like, the details matter. We should have lost both of these games. Yeah, like, our opponent's deck should have beaten us 2-0 there. Both games they had... Both games they had it, and they missed it. Would you have lost in the play game too? I don't know. That's a good question, actually. That does change the dynamic a little bit. Playing against number 7, and they're playing Orphan Guard, eh? That's exciting. Could just be a control deck. No, doesn't look like a control deck. Doesn't look like a control deck.
I'm known for my excellent fight. Trust me.
Seamus Sour Soup Nickels. Thanks for the support. Actually a monsters deck. Okay. Sick. You love to see it. So we're getting Questing Beasted next turn. We're getting Questing Beasted next turn. Yeah, Quartz is the thing. Quartz Crusher is the thing that makes more trample things. Alright, well, that was a good draw. Okay, deal. Deal, Areno. Seriously? They drew a third Questing Beast? It's pretty vomit-inducing. Opponent is much better at poker than we are. I agree. They're rank 7 for a reason. Yep, you're not wrong. So we're gonna take 10 here total because we don't have a human. Actually, maybe I'm just supposed to play the Wellspring there. Yeah, maybe I'm just supposed to play the Wellspring there, actually. Not with that draw. And again, like, this is the trouble with trying to play a deck like ours that's aiming to be interactive, is a number of game ones you are just going to lose because your interaction does not line up well into what they drew. You know, that was a game where we drew Kaya's, and we drew Othakayas, and we drew Teferi, and if you look at how I'm sideboarding here, the very first cards I went to board out were half the spells we drew that game. Black Thragtusk, thanks for the brand new Prime support, I appreciate that. Welcome to Hooglandia. Being proactive is the name of the game in Magic. Because you don't have that wrong half problem. That lines up into your stuff like we just experienced there when you're proactive. Thanks, GMAC. This is why I mutate my entire library to play game one. Yeah, I mean, like, cards, decks like that are super proactive and have a very straightforward plan, they know what they want to be doing, tend to be best. Being reactive in Magic is often asking to lose. Well then, so they kept fires, incubation, lands. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. It's a bold strategy. Black, white, red, green, blue, so we can cast Niv this turn. I'm in for the Despark. His animation is very good. His and, what's the one? Is it Laziv that has the animation pop up when you surveil? Both of those ones are very well done. It's a pretty good one. I guess they can't give a trample at least, so we got that going for us. I think I just hold up Stroke here rather than playing a 4-drop. Do I? Nah, let's just jam. I'm happy that I boarded. Just gonna go ahead and run it back. As soon as I hear a card is a good animation, I wish I could go back 10 seconds on Twitch. That's a good one. That's true. Yeah, that's true. If you hit clip it really quick, you can jump back. You can also click into the VOD technically, but it's a little awkward to do that. Mulligan here because of our mana, unfortunately. Another mana mulligan. It's the first set that we've had our mana be super rough. So have most of our colors here now. Everything but red, and we don't have that much red in our deck. We played you white flyers since Ikoria. No, I don't think so. Opponent kept 8, we kept 6. Wouldn't have it any other way. That is a fantastic draw. We'll get to go tapped land, stroke their 4-mana play, untap, play Atris. Yeah, our companion in this deck doesn't really curve fill though. It's a resource for later on, but it doesn't really help our deck that much in the early turns, like a lot of the companions do. Johnson's, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a good one wherever you're at. Hopefully they just play a 4 or 5 mana spell that we get to stroke here. That's not Ceratops. Big bucks, no Ceratops, please. Basically just snap stroking anything that's not Ceratops here that's strokeable. Feels magic, man. Again, like, you know, there's a different game where instead of stroke, I have dire tactics here, or I have assassin's trophy here, and it's just night and day different. And now the answer that I had just didn't line up well into what my opponent played, and I'm just like very, very far behind because of it. And our answers are pretty generic in this deck, you know. We have stroke that counters anything that costs 4 or more. We have lots of different removal spells that kill any creatures or any card type even, like Despark and Trophy. And you just don't always have them at the right time, opportunities. Got punked. Was hoping for a removal spell there. Will there be any intermissions during the show tomorrow? I'm not sure what you mean. I can't block with Atris because it's blue. Right? No, there won't be any scheduled breaks. If you want a break during tomorrow's tournament, I'd recommend playing an aggro deck. You want to break, register 20 basic mountains. How long are rounds tomorrow? Theoretically 60 minutes, but there's going to be some extra time as turnover happens too. Sometimes later rounds will happen faster. You should plan for approximately an hour per round throughout the entirety of the tournament, with the earlier ones being slightly longer and the later ones being slightly shorter. If you're someone that has other things going on and you need to walk away from your computer in between, MTG Melee has a feature where you can set it up to text you when your next round pairings are available. You can also have it, it also plays an audible round paired sound as well, which is great. Well, Teferi sucks. Guess I'm gonna take their Clarion for now in case I find a hero. Yeah, the format really feels like it's starting. The format feels like it's week 2, right? Like that's what it is. The set's been out for a week. It feels like over the course of the next week, we're going to get things incredibly solidified, and we're going to get a feel for, okay, what do the good decks look like? What are the play patterns of those decks? Do we like them or not, etc.? People have had their fun at this point, and the things they're still playing are the decks that are more likely to be competitive rather than less so. Yeah, we're getting past the fun, and people are registering Teferi's again.
Might be a bad idea.
Do you know how MTG Melee is monetizing their platform? Yes, they, what's the word I'm searching for? If you collect entry fees for their your tournament through their website, they take a cut of the sales that they process, and they're going to sell ad space as well, I assume. Gross. One of the things they're going to have by people hosting tournaments on their website is eventually they're going to have a great wealth of deck list data, and people love deck list data, chat. Is a historic ladder every other month? No, it's far more convoluted than that. The historic ladder goes away when a new set releases, and it comes back when the next historic anthology happens. So, have 2 humans here, so we don't lose any life from this, which is great. Correct, which doesn't line up exactly with the month-long seasons at all.
Don't make another move.
Dear Wizards of the Coast, please make the historic ladder always on. Thanks. Correct, yes. There's actually an arena survey going on right now. If you want to make your voice heard, usually there's some question on there about historic or some question about, or a free response section. Make sure you fill out that survey and let them know how you feel about them taking away the historic ladder. Ideally, you should let them know how them taking the historic ladder away impacts how much you play arena and how much you spend. There was no free response section. Wow, when you really don't want to hear what people have to say, huh? It speaks a lot of confidence in your product. Wonder if we'll see him bounce the Conqueror's Death here or not.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
Same company that does the How Trump's doing surveys, right? Those are just such a joke. Alright, I'm doing this. Am I trophying this? I think I'm just playing Uro and getting a token. When our deck lists due. Gosh! If there was only some kind of website that had a wealth of information typed up that talked at length about when deck lists were due and other procedures that were required for the tournament that was happening tomorrow morning. I think I might have to think about putting something like that together before the next open. You've given me some food for thought. Or if there was a Discord server with a QA channel, in case you missed things in the FAQ. Write your list down and hand it to the closest bird. It will find its way. Oh. You just subbed, right, Paulo? I'll force a sync for you. So normally the server syncs automatically once every hour or so, but I can kick it for you. That must be every 2 hours. All right, try and refresh your page now, Pedro. The server hath been kicked. Kick it. Dire Tactics is so good, chat. Card's been super impressive. I lay out my deck, take a picture of it, print off that picture, and just send it. That definitely. Definitely can do that. So 5, 6, 7. We're actually 1 point short of lethal here if I trophy something, which is sad. Worth noting that because of our companion, Uro here are our only cards that require double colors and missing double green, so can't quite escape this just yet. Alright, if we can dodge a sweeper, we can dodge a ball. And even if... Oh, I should have played this last turn. It's my second green. Duh. You have to submit a screenshot of a notepad. No joke. When they ran... So, you know, anyone remember the Twitch Rivals tournaments that happened last year? Those things where they just, like, invited a bunch of streamers to play and, like, put up a bunch of money? No joke. They had no requirements for the deck lists and the way they were submitted, and it was just like a total free-for-all. And like there were people would post pictures from the deck editor, they'd post pictures of MTG Goldfish, they'd post notepad pictures, they'd post them in Spanish, they'd post them in Italian, whatever their native language was. So after like 3 Twitch Rivals events, where me in the feedback section afterwards being like, please standardize deck list submissions, I changed my Magic Arena language to Russian and exported my deck list as Russian and submitted it in Russian. It's just very, very, just like, it would be such an easy thing for them to just be like, no, this is how it has to be, and they just like refuse to do it every event. It's stupid stuff like, it's like, come on, just take a little bit of effort and tell people how they're supposed to do it. There should be a website for the deck, right? I agree. You know, thinking about it, there hasn't been a Magic Twitch Rivals event since that one where I did that. Maybe they decided instead of standardizing deck lists, they just canceled the tournament series. Am I the reason Magic Twitch Rivals died? Could be, chat. Could be. Yes, definitely my fault. All right, rats. I feel bad now. Really? That's so weird. Okay. I feel like I should just assume, I feel like people who play Fires on the Ladder just board in Legion War Boss against actually everyone they play against. It doesn't matter if I'm playing like an aggro deck or a control deck or a combo deck. There's just always Legion War Boss in their deck post board. I mean, it seems pretty good here, huh? I just, like, don't expect it when I'm playing a creature deck. Gets me half the time. I should just always assume it's coming. That's a very good draw. It's a very good draw. So they stomp. I trophy. I get to trade my 1/1 for their 1/1, take 2, go to 12. Next turn I get to Despark their Cavalier. Yeah, it's just like my go-to is like if I was playing the opponent's deck, I wouldn't board in Legion War Boss against my deck. But like another thing too to consider is that like on average the decks we play here are off the beaten path enough that maybe people just don't know how to board a lot of the time. I think I should just hedge. I should just hedge and leave my Oath Akaias in, is basically what it comes down to. Oath still kills Bone Crusher Giant, and it picks off their Planeswalkers. I think that's going to be my plan. Just leave 3 of these in. Yeah, I mean, we definitely got leveled there, right? Alright, chat. There are 28 lands in my deck, which naturally means I'm excited to miss my 3rd land drop on 3. God bless. God bless us, everyone. White, the color we're missing here, is also the single most common color in my mana base, because our deck is base white. So we got that going for us. Alright, would you like to dispute my Uro? You don't have dispute. That's so unlucky, opponent. I didn't have white when I kept. My opening hand had Watery Grave Forest in it, for reference. For people that are not fully paying attention or wondering what we're talking about, I kept a hand with Watery Grave Forest. Just like we drew it up, chat. Just like we drew it up. Wow, no play here is really good for us. Trophy's not a bad draw. We get Total Stroke / Trophy this turn. Would not be surprised to see this get disputed. I just resolved. They elected not to play Fires this turn and instead hold up Cavalier. That's an interesting choice. I'm just going to take their Fires and leave them their more expensive plays. We actually have the colors we need to cast Uro, huh? Which is great. So we just need 3 more cards in our bin. Would love for them to just jam Cavalier here. Atris notably only, what's the word I'm searching for? He notably puts the extra cards in our discard pile, so he helps fill for Uro too, which is great. We could see this get Aether Gusted. I guess I want to hold it for this or a Niv. Correct. Cannot Aether Gust this one. If they don't show us lands in the face-up pile, we're going to take the face-down pile. Wow, 2 lands together is a bold choice. It's a bold choice. This is a land drop that helps escape Uro too, which is great. So, we actually have not used the Wellspring much in this set, but in the last set we used it quite a bit. I also think, like, you don't want to play Trawler, and you probably don't want to play Casualties. Not having time wipe is a consideration. I think for the most part, you'll feel like we're in a pretty good spot here now. Especially with the second Disdainful Stroke drawn. He says before his opponent casts Teferi time Raveler. God bless you being a human, Atris. God bless you being a human. Alright, so we're gonna grab a island here. I'm gonna lead on this to try and bait the Aether Gust, because I don't want Uro to get Aether Gusted. The way we left our lands up here lets us cast Dire Tactics or Disdainful Stroke, which is great. A human advisor. Tribal advisors coming together, chat. Slowly and steadily, the advisors shall come together. Well, that's super unfortunate.
Let's slow this down.
I suppose the good news is the Oracle gets to kill him. That's the glass half full. Why did they shock? They have a shark typhoon? Nope. Alright.
Should have seen that coming.
Second verse, same as the first. A little bit louder and a whole lot worse. Pretty sure I bought him here. Like the 5/5 for 5, just not doing a whole lot at this point. Just a free card, basically. Just basically snapping off these strokes at the first possible opportunity. Just want to use our mana and get them out of our hand with 2 of them. Once we play the first one out, the second one we might tank on a little bit, but just want to try and trade these cards for their cards as soon as possible. First possible opportunity to trade our card for their card, we're into it. Think I gotta do this. If they follow up with a card I can stroke, I'm gonna be really sad, though. If I don't stroke that, they get to draw a card off my deck, though, and that could end really poorly for me. He says before he draws another land. Alright, you have another Aether Gust? I'm pretty sure I put that on top of my deck. I can't escape it again, but just gaining a life and it replaces itself anyways, so that way once we can eventually escape it, it'll be ready. And my life's a little on the low side at the moment, so gaining a little bit sounds good. Alright, that's card number 4. If we get to stroke something else, we'll be able to escape the Uro. God bless America. Well, there goes that one. Alley-oop. When will the stream be live tomorrow? Shortly before round 1 scheduled to start. That should hopefully lock things up for us here. So, if you look at the way this deck is constructed, drawing 2 cards, I believe, is about the average. 2 to 4 is what you should expect. We don't actually have that many color combinations because we're mostly playing good cards. We're not, like, playing a bunch of wacky cards just to, like, maximize his trigger. Like, your Mull Drifter being a 6/6 is plenty good. Like, your Mull Drifter is a 6/6 and it's guaranteed to draw 2 spells. You, like, take that all the time. Like, yep, sign me up. It's not a Mull Drifter, it's a Keep Drifter. That's great. Alright. Slow and steady. They got us with the war bosses in that second game, but once we're able to readjust for that, we're able to recover nicely. This one's feeling pretty reasonable again. Glad I added this one up to the website. Feels pretty decent. Yeah, but I didn't want them to be able to find a removal spell off the top of my deck that I couldn't counter Lamacopter, was the reason why I killed their thing. I didn't kill their thing for fear of them Urrowing, but because I didn't want them to hit a removal spell that I couldn't deal with. Probably another Fires matchup. Is Kurinos the dog? Is that the one? Is that the card you're talking about? Is that the good boy? You know what card we could play? We could play Klothys. Klothys is a lot like Kaya, but harder. Harder to take off the board. Missing green mana here. Man, your free card drawing you more cards is pretty good, chat. Probably dead here. This is a game. It's good. It's good to keep track of games like this. We haven't had a lot of games that we've lost to our mana, but this is definitely one of them. You thought about playing Yorion. Oh, you want main deck Yorion? No. We don't actually have that many things. We don't actually have that many things that get value blinking. Like, I know I have these couple of Othakayas sitting here, but, like, that's about where that stops. I think I'm again going to leave the Othakayas in, because worst case they kill Planeswalker / our Reach, and if they bring in the Legion War bosses like everybody seems to, they're good. It's been a while since I've seen Mogwai stream. Is he just like all in on Runeterra now? I saw him playing a bit of that when it came out. He was one of the people I would watch stream a little bit in my off time, but he hasn't been around for Magic stuff. All in on Runeterra. That makes sense. He was one of the people that was like tried to make Artifact work, and then Artifact was awful. He didn't have the nicest things to say about Magic's land system. On the inside, it makes me smile and chuckle a little bit when the people that Wizards of the Coast gave special favor to just like look at Magic and tell it to pound sand, basically. Makes me happy a little bit. I feel, it's funny, I kind of feel like, in a way, I got a little bit punished with my relationship for them because I was basically an early adopter for Magic. Like, I think a lot of the people they worked with would have similar titles, liability titles to I do with Wizards of the Coast if they had been around for longer. They just, like, weren't there for long enough to step in it. One of your coworkers in your group of 18 people tested positive for COVID. Working from home for a month and a half. Yeah, here's hoping. Good luck and stay safe out there. So we need a second blue source at some point for Uro. But other than that, our colors are working out really well here. You can't have Yorion in your deck with Jack. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yorion breaks his requirement, right? Look at that, chat. Just actually every time. Just never not Legion War Boss post board. Never not Legion War Boss post board. I don't know what it is. It's just they always want to have the Legion War Bosses, chat. Alright, I guess. Get rid of it. Is it good? I don't actually know. I feel like it's not, but I don't know what their exact deck list is. It could just be like the best of their bad cards. I'm just gonna main deck War Boss and skip a step. Yeah, I mean, that seems like the play. It's a power play right there. These are tough times. Everybody's Legion should use a little bit more management. Love it. Alright, so this game should be super over, right? We get to, like, Dire Tactics this, play Niv. I can do this and still Dire Tactics. Attack their Teferi. Do I Despark now? I think I Despark now because it lets me save Dire Tactics for another War Boss down the line in case they have like a sweeper. If they have Shatter in, so like here's the real question, right? They have War Boss in their deck. Do they still have Shatter in their deck? Or like, are people cutting Clarion and Shatter against my hero deck? Could be a real thing. Yeah, I mean, to a degree, Wargy, but, like, my deck has creatures in it, and it, like, has a bunch of Dire Tactics, so, like, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
They didn't see Hero Game 1. That's fair. That's fair. And again, like, part of that, too, we talked about this last time, is part of people feeling like they're boarding strangely against me could, in large part, be because we're playing brews and they don't know how to board because our list isn't a stock list, right? And that's something you have to account for when you're sideboarding, right? Like, I'm bringing Othakayas in or leaving some in because people keep war bossing us. And I think I'm happy with how we board it. Let's just run it back. Yeah, that's a fair assessment. They just don't know what we're doing, so they decide to default to being proactive. All right, sweet. It looks like enabling video caching on my website fixed my API quota limit. The last 3 days, the website hit like 15,000 and 20,000 and 30,000 quota calls, and now it's done less than 1,000 so far today. And I think everything on the website looks okay still. It said it would even help load times, so that's sweet. You love to see it. When in doubt, aggro them out. Yeah, tried and true language. Sure, right? I can Thought Erasure before they get to get War Boss down. Hopefully they don't have Dispute into War Boss, then we might be in trouble if we don't draw a spell. Lead on this Triome, so we have all our colors. I can do this into Erasure, right? We'll shock in Hallowed Fountain. It's good that people are testing if they can go live in Discord. In fact, after I sign off tonight and publish my YouTube videos, the last bit of prep I have to do is I have to get Maddie on a call and figure out how I wire in Matt while also all the other stuff. Yeah, I think we just take Bone Crusher Giant, huh? And we see, God, shame, I didn't know that was coming. We see here the Clarion's back in for game 3, so I would kind of be surprised if War Boss is still in their deck. I'll bet they saw us on Hero and pivoted back off of that plan. Use old school Team Sequel. I'd ideally like something that has him on video, so I can put his face on the screen. So I assume this is dead, but I think I should still shock just in case they decide to be cheeky and play Kenrith instead of Clarion. Yeah, I think we're gonna try Skype. Because I'd prefer not to finagle a third. So, if you listen to Matt's microphone quality on the last broadcast, and then you compare his audio quality to a local recording that he has, the audio quality that he had for the last stream was really bad. The audio quality his microphone is capable of producing is much better than what he had on the last stream. Let me just do this. We'll do this, and then next turn this is basically free if this lives. Although I guess the downside to doing this is, now if they haste this, I have to take a hit or trade. So I have double Clarion here. Yeah, Matt actually has an identical microphone to me. His microphone is identical to the one I am using. And, like, the quality of the room that he's in isn't gonna change it as much as you heard there. Wow, that's actually pretty unfortunate, huh? Only got one card. That's what we used. Sir Pikachu, we used Google Hangouts last time. We're gonna use something that's not web browser based this time through. We did not drop anyone from the tournament that did not request to be dropped. There are a few people that said they had something come up. And they were dropped, but we've not been dropping random people, no. Okay, I think we're actually just letting them counter my Atris here, and then we're gonna go ahead and attack, get rid of their Kenrith. What mic do I use? I use a Blue Yeti. Oh, they're exactly dead to the dire tactics, right? Gotta get on the Zoom choice. Doesn't Zoom limit you to... Well, one, Zoom's desktop app has a ton of security holes in it. But two, it also limits how much time you can use it for, right? If you don't pay for it. We wanna use it all day. I feel like there's something... I feel like there's something real here. After playing through these games today, I think I would keep working on this. I'm glad we've got it up on the site. I like the 4 Thought Erasures made. I'm going to update the list of the site to that. While I think this is good against, Kai is good against the Luris deck specifically, I think I would trim her from the main deck. And I think I would probably go up an Oathakaya and go up a Teferi Time Raveler here. And this curve is just like packed super tight in a really nice way. I like what's going on here a lot. I don't know that this card's very good. I guess we didn't play against a ton of creature decks in this set, but this card's probably replacement level. I don't really know what else I really want it to be, though. I'd like another human that's multicolored. I don't think we have any other humans that are multicolored. Nothing that I'm really super interested in playing. Judah's kind of funny, but I don't really want red cards in my deck either. Yeah, this is Chev is probably fine. He was okay last time we played. I think I would just make that swap after playing those sets. We felt really competitive against the Fires decks. Between Thought Erasure, Dire Tactics, Assassin's Trophy, and then post-board getting 2 more trophies and 2 more Desparks, these all felt very reasonable. Oh, General. Huh. And like we could like actually use the 3rd line on here. That actually sounds really sweet. It's like random graveyard hate too with Hero. That could be okay. This could be something worth testing. Toll Smear breaks the requirement for our companion. I think I'm gonna leave Chev on the deck list on my website for the time being, but I think this might be worth testing. Yeah, that's another consideration too. Like in that last match, you saw us only get 1 card off of Niv, and like diversifying our color combinations a little bit is kind of ideal in order to try and draw 2 cards semi-consistently with this. It's something to think about. All right, at any rate, I've been live for almost 10 hours. I've got some work to do tonight so I can get ready for the Open tomorrow. Remember, if you're playing in the event and you haven't tested your ability to go live in Discord and share your arena window, you should make sure to do that. That is a requirement to play in tomorrow's event. Make sure your deck list is submitted. So that way, if you know what you're playing already, get it submitted now. You can still make changes between now and the deadline tomorrow. But if you don't need to make changes, getting it in ahead of time means if there's any issues, we can help you debug it while there's not a last-minute crunch in the morning while we're trying to start. If you're just watching the event, we're going to start coverage about 9 a.m. Central Time tomorrow morning. First thing, bright and early. There's going to be probably 10 or 11 hours of coverage. Looking forward to seeing what sweet brews everybody brings. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Friday. Stay safe out there wherever you're at in this crazy world. And good night, folks. Who are we hosting? Who's playing some Standard? Allie's on. Oh, Allie's playing Historic. Oh, that's interesting. Historic's great, but I'm going to host someone else still playing Standard. Allie Strauss is on. Let's host her. Different Allie.